The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
I'm a big fish in a small pond. Got my days free and the nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am. Who I am is fine with me.
Everybody, it's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? Welcome to our show. It's Tuesday night at 9. We meet here every week at 9. So if you're out there, we're on Armed Radio, armeddigitalmedia.com, armedradioglobal.com, and we also Facebook Live our show every week. So we want you to please come back and watch our show. I also save it, and you can watch it after we save it. And you can listen to it in podcast on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, and Spotify. Let's see who's joined us. Krista Piero, my good friend, who's usually first one in. Hi, Krista Piero. Oh, my God, girls, look, it's Richard Skipper.
Oh, hi, Richard.
Hi. Rachel Scott has joined us. She is also in our
Guess what?
studio.
That's me, which means it's my husband.
Oh, my God, look at that.
Campy.
So your husband's name is Scott.
Yes.
Okay, hi, Scott. All right, Jay Rivera has joined us. Yeah, you know, I have a cousin that comes in under her daughter's Facebook page. All right, so we have a couple of our friends who joined us, and I was telling the girls, usually people start coming on a little at a time. So we are going live tonight. I have the privilege of having, they're called Those Girls on tonight. So we're going to talk about singing as a group. We're going to talk about music in the city. And as I tell everybody, the mission of my show is to showcase my friends and just let everybody know, there's a lot that goes on behind the business that people don't realize. It's Richard Malivert has joined us.
Oh.
Who's that?
I know Richard Malivert. He's a great singer.
Oh,
Hi,
wonderful.
Richard.
Hi, Richard. John Pandis has joined us. Hi, John Pandis. How are you? He comes on every week. So I like to let people know about great things that are happening in the city. And Karen and Rachel and I have known each other for a while. And I just met even Wendy tonight. So that's good. Kian Nelson has joined us from Philly. Mandar, chick magnet. My friend Mandar, he's in Jersey. He is a chick magnet. Mandar, you would be perfect in this circle tonight. Because every time you see Mandar, he's surrounded by beautiful women. Mandar, you're right on time. He's early. Michael Barberi has joined us.
Hi, Michael.
We all love and know Michael Barberi. How are you, Michael? Okay, so we got a couple of our friends have joined us, and more will. You'll see people just pop on in the hour. Patrick O'Hare has joined us.
Oh.
Yeah, all right, great. Lots of great people. Now, the name of your group is Those Girls.
Yes.
All right, so who came up with that name? Was it a collective thing?
It was a suggestion. We had
I
we had
love
done
it.
a bunch of workshops together, and it wasn't just the four of us in these workshops. There were other people in them as well, and so it just kept happening that people would enroll for the next one, and they would be like, "Oh, Lenny, are those girls going to take it? You know, those girls that take everything.
Okay.
Those girls, we see them at the show. Oh, there's those girls that are in my class." And so we just thought, well, people already sort of call us that,
I love it.
so we might as well,
I think it's so catchy. It's great.
having tried to sell a show called Gasshole for 12 years, I thought, let's go
Listen,
with something basic.
You could sell, you could sell anything. Well, I've known you a long time, Karen, and I love your voice. I'm a big fan.
Oh, that's nice.
And your album, Take That, is one of my favorite albums. I'm serious.
Right back at you.
I listen
love
to
your
it all the time still. And we were actually, I think John DePalma and I, when he was on the show, were talking about it. And Richard Skipper
His
and I.
new record is great, John DePalma. Are you out there, John DePalma?
He does watch quite a bit. Wait, we have to stop. My cousin Gina Savino has joined us, and when Gina Savino joins us, we have to clap. Gina Savino! Every week we clap. She's at she and her sister Joyce own Joyce's Unisex Salon in 132 Ferry Street in Everett, Massachusetts. So I always give a shout out to my cousins. Of course, you, my cousins will jump on.
Is she good with bangs? I always need help with
Oh
bangs.
my God, they're great with all of it. All cut color bangs. I mean, look at my bangs. It's in my family, but I cut my own bangs now. Though. Here's the trick to bangs: you can't cut them straight across. You got to cut down each piece.
Oh.
And then my dad showed me this little trick. You just do this, and then you cut up.
I've seen people do that.
Yeah.
My guy says the trick to bangs is don't cut them.
Right.
Not you.
Yeah. Oh, actually,
not
he's right.
drunk, not sober.
My dad
not
will say that sometimes. He'll say, "Who cut your bangs?" I'll say, "It's only me and you, Dad. We're the only two that do it because he's a hairdresser." So I'm like, if you weren't there,
Cool.
it was me.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
You know, I've never worked for a haircut in my life. My
Oh my
dad's
God.
been my hairdresser the whole time. A couple of weeks ago, he was kind of sad. He was like mopey. He was like, I don't know how much longer. I said, listen, you can't go anywhere. I need a hairdresser still. I'm not going to find a new one, so you got to stick around for a few more years. He was like, okay. But all right, so let me see. Giovanni LeDuc has joined us. Tommy J. Doe.
Tommy,
Love to-
boys,
We were
and
just
out of our fame.
we were just talking about Mama's Boys because the last time that I had this many people in the studio at the same time, we had to get everybody on screen and on mic was when I had the boys.
Yeah.
We're big fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
Totally.
amazing.
And you guys sang, and it was so good.
It was so good.
And I think they have a show coming up.
They do, the
February
12th. February 12th.
Okay, and Mama's, of
Before,
course.
before
And
Brian
Mama's,
Kalinowski from Those Boys goes out
Yeah,
on
he's
tour.
got a nerve to go out on.
Oh, well.
Isn't that great, though?
Yeah.
Oh,
Good
it's
for you,
awesome.
Brian.
Congratulations.
Great.
Kenny Holcomb has joined us. You girls know Kenny Holcomb?
Hi, Kenny.
We love Kenny. He's out in
Kenny.
Tennessee right now.
Kenny did our very first postcard and flyer and posters. All of our artwork. Kenny did the whole thing. In fact, Kenny designed our logo.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Kenny,
mean that.
listen, Kenny did my business cards. Look at
Aw.
that.
We love you, Kenny.
We love you, Kenny
We
Holcomb.
miss you. We miss
Oh,
your voice. We
miss
miss
you.
you.
Can I give a quick shout out
Please.
to my friend Josie Gray?
Hi, Josie. How
Yeah,
are you?
hi Josie.
Andy Praski's joined us.
Brian.
Michael-
How cute.
Oh, there's Brian. Michael Woolley has joined us. You know who Michael Woolley is?
Michael Woolley.
Yes, Michael
Famous.
Woolley, of
He
course.
was our famous friend way before he was famous. We
For
love Michael
sure.
Woolley. Enormously talented. He is now on AJ and the Queen, which is on Netflix. You can binge watch it. I've watched up to 6 episodes. I'm going to watch it.
enjoy that very much.
Oh my God. He plays RuPaul's roommate, the blind diabetic roommate.
Oh,
The really, really funny.
Oh, yeah.
That's our friend Michael Woolley. So Michael, everybody's loving it. It's like the talk of the
Oh, there's our logo.
Oh God, look at that. So Danny Cohen has joined us. Danny Cohen's a wonderful friend and incredible comedian. So Ed Kutu from another hairdresser from Blade Salon,
Oh.
Rocky Hill, Connecticut. Now we can
Rocky
start the
Hill.
show.
Okay.
Our regulars are in.
Yeah.
Oh my
I feel
God.
like
This
I'm
is
I'm
great.
telling
I know,
you.
I'm worried about,
No, don't worry. You look great.
Wow.
Lots of hairdressers. Lots.
Yeah,
Nothing.
please, as you just take notes, all of the hair people out there, and then you can email us later or message us on Facebook
I'm
with
telling
your
you.
tips.
If my Lynn Portis has joined us, you know
Oh
Lynn
my
Portis,
God,
my
Lynn,
musical director and
hi.
best friend, and you've worked with her
I
quite a bit.
have. I love her, and boy, what a great songwriter she is.
Oh,
and
my God.
performer. I've known her a
Amazing.
long time. Hi, Lenny.
And also Cindy Krieger. We know Cindy Krieger of Rainy Cole and Cindy. Okay, let me see what else we. All right, so let's get this going. You girls just did a show because it was your birthday. I remember you had a show on your
It
birthday.
is true.
And how did the show go?
It was fabulous.
Okay.
So
Sold
much
out.
fun.
So
The
that was
audience
good.
was so enthusiastic.
Yes,
We had some special guests. So we had Susie Mosier who does a weekly lineup
Of course,
show
I
at
think on
Berlin Theater.
Tuesdays.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
came and sang a number for us, which Karen knew about. And then we had a
Wow.
special surprise guest of Leslie Carrera Rudolph, who's one of the puppeteers on Sesame Street.
Wow.
And she came up with her puppet, Lolly Pop, who we love,
Really?
and did a little special singing telegram
Special
for Karen.
custom song. for
Then-
me.
Look who's here, Lenny Watts, your director.
That's
Hi,
right.
Lenny.
And then to
Hi.
top it off, Leslie had her dear friends, Cookie Monster and Abby Kadabi from Sesame Street, do personalized messages
No.
on video that
Yes.
we showed Karen. Yeah, so it was
Wow.
So
For your
great.
birthday?
For my birthday,
Yeah.
and
And
it was a total surprise.
So
Yeah,
you're
and
an
the-
Aquarius.
I am an
That's a good
Aquarian.
sign to me.
Cancer rising, Leo moon.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
So it sounds like you had so I have never been. I've been to your. I used to come to religiously to the Jay Bradley
The Jay
Christmas
Bradley
shows,
Christmas
and that's where I
shows,
met
yeah.
you, Rachel.
Yes, absolutely.
And you were in that show. And Karen, I've known forever.
Yeah.
And so you ladies, I just met tonight, Wendy and Eve. Now, how did you all meet each other and start singing, or were you friends first? Did you meet? I think you mentioned a class, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We met in a class. Actually, Lenny Watts is on right now, and he has some wonderful classes that he teaches now through an organization called Signasium. And we took this arrangement experience class, and that is where we all met.
Now, when you say arrangement experience, you mean vocal arrangements that someone will prepare for you, or you have to
No,
prepare?
well, you prepare them. You're assigned 2 songs. You know what they are, but you don't know what's going to happen with them. You learn the song as it was intended.
Okay.
Then you come to the class, and it might be over 8 weeks, so there's a boot camp weekend. You take those songs and you rework them and make them into something new.
Wow.
And so that's where we all met, and that's where we kind of started to become friends with each other. And sometimes when you sing in this class, you might do backups for another singer.
Right.
And so sometimes we would do backups, and we would be doing them together, maybe even 3 of us for another singer.
For the 4th, yeah.
For the 4th. And
Wow.
we just started to hear how we sounded with each other, and we liked it. And, tell me if I'm getting any of this wrong, girls, but that's pretty much
Yeah.
like
I
how
remember
it
the
started.
conversation very specifically. We were checking out some open mic nights, and we were checking out Sid Gold.
Yes.
Open
Okay.
mic night, and it was relatively new space, and so
Yeah.
we went
Right.
into the space, and we were just having some drinks, and we said, why don't we take our money and pool it and take some of the songs that we took from the class and see if we could make a
We
show
had
out
so
of
many
it.
cool
Wow.
arrangements
It was really
over
just-
the course of several passes at the class, because the arranging part of it wasn't like they arranged it for you and handed it to you. It was very, very collaborative. So
Wow.
everybody
Yeah,
had to give
absolutely.
and take, and we
What
all
a
were sort of
great
part of these cool things. So
project.
we wanted to show them off a little.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's very creative. It
Well, I like that.
really gets your juices flowing, and when you see what you start with and what you come out with in the end, it's
That's
really
amazing.
like amazing.
And it's a very safe place to try new ideas. Like
Right.
sometimes where you
Right.
start, where you think a song is going to go, isn't where it ends up, or it's.
And
you'll
how long
start
would you
something.
work on a song, for instance? Like, would you work on one song at a time, or do you work on several songs at a time?
in the class,
Yeah.
you'd work on one song for like the first half, like the first 4 weeks,
Oh,
and then
okay.
you would switch to the second song.
Okay.
And then you would do a show in a club. So 8 weeks, you'd create all these new
And
songs.
how many songs would be in that particular show?
2 per person. If
Oh.
there were maybe 8 people
Yeah,
right
great.
in the class,
Yeah.
8 to 10
Wow.
people, so it'd
And
be
there might be a
16 to
group
20
member.
songs,
Oh,
and you would
wonderful.
do a show. When you do the boot camp weekend, now that's crazy, because really you start on maybe a Wednesday or Thursday night, and you work through Sunday night, and you do the show on Monday, and you have
Wow.
that amount of time to rework and create an arrangement in the class, like together, and then put it up as a show.
Wow.
And that's a test.
Yeah, but I love it. All right,
It's really fun.
let's go back. So we're talking Polly North has joined us. How are you? Comes on every week. My cousin Rena Crunelli-Berge has joined us from Massachusetts. Hi, Rena.
Hi, Rena.
Annette Zito. Annette Zito is going. She's a reoccurring guest on this show. She's a chef, and she's really great. And she creates this Oscar for the Oscars. This collection on the menu. She's coming. I think she's going to be on next week with Susan Campanero. They're going to recap the
nice.
Oscars. They did it last week. Last year as well. Belle Parker, an amazing singer and teacher. Josie says those arrangement shows were incredible. That's your friend.
That's my friend. He has to come.
Bill Goffey, I'm late, but what did I miss? Everything, Bill. You missed everything. Steven Stock has joined us. Tony Garcia joined us.
Heather!
You guys know Heather?
She lives in the neighborhood. She's a great singer. She's one of my besties, and she lives right over on Cabrini.
Yeah.
And she won Mama's Next Big. She's like fabulous.
Yeah,
Yes.
Coach Paul, like Mama.
I don't
How
know.
cool. Todd Dowdle has joined us. He's in Massachusetts. Rick. So many. Suzanne Mays has joined us. So many nice people. Okay,
That's
so
awesome.
yes, and the nice thing is that people watch this tomorrow and they all week. So now your show went well. How long have you been working to? I mean, how long the show was created? You've done one show.
No,
Of
this is our
particular.
third show. This was the first show that we had done, though, that there was a theme-based
Yeah.
show.
Oh,
This was
okay.
Those Girls Sing the Boys, Volume 1, and it was all music that was
Right.
done originally by male artists and male bands. So, but the other, it was our third
Yeah.
show.
Wow.
Third. Yeah.
And so you have themes for every show?
No,
No.
we just sort of done it. We like all different kinds of music.
Yeah.
When we sat down initially to say, okay, what would this be? Like, what would we like this to look at and like, and what do we want to bring to people? For me, it was really important that I didn't want it to just be based in one type of music or one decade or one thing. I really felt like anything that we wanted to sing should be welcome. So
Right.
any kind of song, whether it's a standard or whether it's jazz or whether it's pop or country, that people should be able to bring into the room whatever they thought they wanted to say something with. And that's kind of what
Love
we've done
that.
even with the boys show, even though it's got sort of an underpinning of it being male music, there's still stuff from 5 decades of tunes from.
Yeah, we basically take songs that we like, or songs that we've heard, or songs that we want to match up, or
And
that's what we come
how
to the table
do you
with.
all come? Do you all like before a show? Do you all meet at a diner or someone's house and say, "Hey, I wanted. How about this one?" Do you all throw it out
Yes,
like it's like
there
a
is.
big
Yeah,
thing?
There's many nights of
Many nights we start with a big spreadsheet where everybody like puts in different songs by different artists, and then like often we'll go to Karen's house and we have some booze and some treats and we talk about everything. We listen to songs that maybe we don't know that someone else put on the list, and then we get together with the other 2 girls, Lenny Watts and Stephen Ray
Of
Watkins,
course.
and we talk it all through, right?
Yeah, and they bring stuff to the table too. Like
Yes.
they'll be out somewhere, they'll watch something and think, "Oh wow, I wonder if that would be cool for the girls." And that's always fun to see. What they.
Yeah,
What
because
sparks
it's from
their
a
interest
different
from us.
angle. Like, what I love about collaborating, and I love collaborating, because you just something will start in one place, end up and someone will come out of nowhere and say, "Why don't we do this?" It just changes everything. But
For sure.
even song suggestions, like Darius Frowner and I, we run an open mic down at the Duplex. I would love it if you came down some night.
Oh, yeah.
Mondays and Thursdays. So for the next 2 weeks, he's working on the Gospel Fest, McDonald's Gospel Fest, so he won't be there. But I'll let you know and please come down. So Mondays and Thursdays, but he and I also teach classes in Morristown at the Mayo Performing Arts Center, kids and adults. But I love he and I do the same thing, and then our students will bring ideas, and then someone else. But it's just important to always. It's because it's always evolving. It's like a fluid thing.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, and music is so beautiful and so universal. It's, you have to share it that way, and your audiences are loving it. I mean, I've heard great stuff. Yeah. So
But and sometimes it's creative puzzle work as well. Like somebody will bring something in and they really, really love it, and maybe not everybody really loves it, or maybe we try it on and it doesn't feel like it's going to work.
Do you
And then
shelf it?
9 times out of 10, if it's really important to somebody,
Oh.
we'll walk away from it, and somebody else will go home, and it'll weigh on them to say, you know what, Karen really likes that song, or Eve really likes that. Okay, let's think about it. What do we really like about it?
Mhm.
And in some cases, it's not a good song. Sometimes it's got a great bass line, or the
right,
production on the record is really good.
right.
And then you think, well, what else is there out there that's maybe a better song, but has that component? And then before you know it, we've sort of got
Well,
the
that's-
underpinnings of something new.
That's the challenge. Now you have piano. Stephen plays piano.
Right.
He's your musical director. And then do you have other instruments, or is it just the piano and you four?
It depends on the show, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we do both. We our stage show, we call it the big show at the Beachman, is always with the full band.
I love the beach room.
It's a great
Yeah,
place.
we do
Oh
too.
my God, they're so
It's a
good.
great,
Yeah.
it's a great space.
Yeah, and then we also have like we call it Those Girls Unplugged. And
Okay.
we go downtown to Pangea.
I've never been to Pangea.
Oh,
it's
it's
nice.
great.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Great
check it out.
Fantastic.
And-
It's a great room.
Yeah,
Is
you
it?
love
It's
it.
small
Yeah.
though, right?
It's
like
very intimate, but it
very
has a
intimate.
great vibe, and it just has really good food, and it's just there's nothing not to like.
Yeah,
about it.
Phyllis
No,
Pastori
absolutely.
was on it. She was telling me about it. And then Richard Skipper went on about it. And then I think Lena and Sean and Marcus
Yeah,
just
There's
did a
not a
show.
bad
Oh,
scene.
yeah,
It's
really?
very intimate, and yeah, it's cozy.
I'm
It's
gonna have
lovely,
to
and
check it
they're
out.
really lovely to the performers there. You know,
Isn't that
so
nice? Isn't that
It's
great?
a family
yeah.
style meal. I think.
Really?
Yes,
It's
it's
months.
It's
and
really
then-
nice. They
But
take
it's
care of you. It's a
they're
nice
nice.
feeling to have that.
Yes, absolutely. I think of all things, for me, the most important thing in life is to feel appreciated. Like
Yeah,
that's
sure.
my number
Yes,
one
For
thing.
sure.
Yeah.
That I don't even have to think about it. People are like, "What's important to you?" And if you, as a boss, a relationship, a coworker, whatever, if I feel appreciated, I will go the extra mile every single time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that clubs, it happens in clubs too, or certain stages. So you were saying that you use when you're at the beach mint, you have like a band.
We have a full band.
Benji is smaller. It's just with piano.
Piano.
And
Sometimes we
Sometimes
do.
guitar.
Yeah. Sometimes we do acoustic guitar.
Okay.
Also.
And Ted Stafford is our guitar guy.
Right.
Okay,
And
great.
we had Matt Sharpglass do bass for us,
Mhm.
and
Wow.
Don Kelly on drums.
Yep.
Right.
So, with Stephen.
Oh,
And the room
That's our
at
dream team.
I've seen people have the opportunity to take the show and pull the band out of it and just have it be vocals
Right.
Right.
and see, it makes some of these tunes kind of roll out a little differently, and that's a fun thing to do.
Absolutely. Look who's joined us. Speaking of the devil, Lena
Oh,
Katrak. We were just talking about you.
Winner.
I know. She's got more. She doesn't have any room left for awards. That's enough, Lena. No more. That's it. No more awards for you. 2 minutes.
We've had some fun, Lena, because
Yeah, Lena's
we
great.
all did Doris Deer's Christmas show the last 2 years. So hanging out with Lena backstage
awesome.
has been way fun.
Yeah, I mean, I've known
Yeah.
Lena,
Yeah.
God, for 25 years. We did Tony and Tina's together.
Oh,
Man, that's how-
my God.
I met
Oh,
Lena
wow.
before I knew
That's-
she was a singer. Oh, God, did we have
Tony
fun
and
with
Tina's,
Nancy
wow.
Campanaro. I mean, just like
Mhm.
Susie Campanaro. So many fun people.
Wow.
Julie
So
Rayburn
was
has
Tony
joined.
Laurie.
Yes, Tony
I love Tony
Lauria. Oh,
Lauria.
my God. Michael Rizzo and Michael has joined us. He's in Jersey. And me, I have been. Okay, so she's going to make some incredible dishes next week. And that's Hector Garcia. He's in Miami.
Actor.
Oh, wow.
He's an incredible artist. I mean, he's really a doctor of psychology that now is an artist, an amazing artist, very successful.
Nice.
So when you're in town, we got to make it happen. So you go. Leah has joined us. Hi, Leah. She's in. Isabella Raskowski, that's my cousin that goes under her daughter Isabella's name. Now, Marisa, her husband is under her Facebook page tonight. Popped up as her. Just so we talked about this. Margaret Curry is.
It's so fun.
Savino
totally
of Joyce's
fun.
Unisex Salon. She's Gina's sister. Joyce Savino, everybody. Joyce Savino. Oh, my God. You dating me? Said, that's my girlfriend. She's out across the river. Hi. Full house tonight. Also, so your last show was at the Green Room, though, wasn't it?
No, we've not played the Green Room yet, but we were invited to do. Blake Allen has a series there called An Evening with.
Oh, okay, because I saw
and
that
they
stuff.
do, so they do. He does 4 or 5 shows a season, and he just opened this season with An Evening with Frank Sinatra, and the next
Wow.
one happens in March 13th, right?
Yes.
And it's An Evening with Dolly Parton, and we get to be in that one.
How cool.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
He's an
really
incredible
very
musician,
fun.
and it's always
I don't know him. This
really
is wonderful.
interesting. The Sinatra one had like a huge, 14-person big band
Really?
on stage. Yeah, it's really cool, and
Wow.
he is an arranger, and so he puts his own kind of spin on the whole thing.
Yeah,
It's
I
really
love
cool.
that. Well, when I had Jen Pace and her dad on was it last week or 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, they were talking about the arrangements are such a big part of it. I didn't know her dad was an arranger as well, and a composer. You learn so much about people. So now, let me more. Okay, so we got our crew here now. If it's okay with you girls, because earlier I said, do you think you could do a little number? And I know they usually have instruments and amazing musicians.
Tuning.
But I think we happen to just have a pitch pipe with her, right?
Yes.
Can we do a little
You want to do
something?
the little, the G?
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right, here we go.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I give you
Face forward, sure.
those girls.
1, 2.
Roma, Roma, ma, ga, ga, ooh la la.
kicks in.
We're just giving you clips now. Now remember, they're not an a cappella group. They just threw this together tonight. Wendy had that damn pitch pipe, and it came in handy. I'm telling you. What's your birthday, Wendy?
August 1st.
Oh, you're a Leo.
I'm a Leo.
Okay, my mom was a Leo. Always
Yeah.
prepared. And you are an
Always
Aquarius. What are you, Rachel?
Well, my birthday's coming up in a few weeks.
Wow.
I'm a fish.
So you
I'm
run.
a Pisces.
Yes.
February 23rd is
Okay,
my
well that's
birthday.
nice. You seem like a
Uh-huh.
Pisces. I
Oh,
get
do
that.
I? All
Yeah,
right.
very calm. Pisces
Okay.
are calm.
Oh, I don't know.
And what do you got there? Is that not calm? Uh-oh, you've been called out, Rachel.
Oh, my husband right now is saying, "Calm, my wife." I don't know.
Wow, all right. And Eve, what are you?
I'm a Libra. Libra,
Judy,
Libra
my
rising,
girlfriend's a Libra.
setting, everywhere. Libra.
Wow, all
Yeah.
right. So we got everything. I'm a Gemini. We got everybody
Oh,
in
wow.
Wow,
Everyone's
everyone's in the
Oh, is
house.
Well, that's Libras, Aquarius Aquarius. Actually, you all get along.
Yeah.
Really, yeah. It's compatible. So now I hate to do this because I don't usually like to, cause. But if there is something that you ladies disagree on, what does it usually have to do with? If there is something to work out,
Boys.
It's, it kind of runs the gamut from scheduling is really difficult with all
Yeah,
of us
yeah.
because there's 4 of us and Lenny and Stephen make 6. So that sometimes can cause us some tensions. Sometimes we don't like the same music, but we're usually pretty
Right.
respectful of I'm not really into that. I mean, I probably put my foot in my mouth a couple of times and I hate that arrangement. That's happened before. But for the most part, I think we kind of get along and like each other.
But
That's
see-
what,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's...
My curiosity now has been sparked because of the reaction to me
Oh,
saying
it's,
Rachel's
I
coming.
just
Yeah.
calm might not be the first word. I mean,
How would you describe yourself, Rachel?
Oh my God, I don't know. You know what? I'm a passionate person, and I take things very seriously. I can be goofy and silly.
Yeah, I've seen that side. I love
but
that
you
side.
know, but I take things seriously, and so I can get a little intense, but not crazy intense.
Yeah.
You know
well,
what I mean?
I think that's part of.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But I think for the 4 of us, even at times when there's a little bit of headbutting going on, the sum is greater than the
Yes.
parts. Like, we love singing so much. We love music. We love creating together. And I think we're really appreciative and grateful that we met each other and that we have this project together. And, we just try to work around whatever isn't working at that moment to
Right.
make it better. And, we just want it to be here and
I
to
think we
keep
were
going.
also talking about when we came the other day. We had this conversation after one of our gigs, and a friend of mine happened to be there, and she was saying that we treated each other with such respect, and I
Isn't
think
that
we kind of
wonderful?
earned each other's trust and know that we all have the best interest of the group at hand. So even if we do
Right.
have a conflict, you just have to remember we're all trying to do the best thing for the group. And so,
Right, and that's it. The one. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Well, I was just going to say, it is, we really try to make it a very safe environment for each
It
other.
has
So
to be.
when you have that,
Yeah.
that's a double-edged sword. Like there are times when all of us has had a moment where they just snap a little bit, and it's
Of
only
course.
because we know that we love each other, and you get emotional, you get passionate about something, and then it's how sometimes that's a good thing,
Yeah.
because when you see what trips somebody up, then you have an insight onto, okay, what's really going on here, and how do we move forward, and what's really the problem.
Right.
Right.
We
And
talk
the
it
group
out, we talk
dynamic
it
is
out.
always
Yeah.
a challenge.
Yeah,
But
when you
also, in
go with
order,
it.
I find, because I have to co-teach and co-write, and I do a lot of things that involve a lot of other people, and I find that the best way to go get through something is to know it even exists. I would rather have someone say, you know what, that's just not working, or can we just, than to have someone be very nice on the outside and be passive-aggressive,
Oh, for
or
sure.
have a resentment.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm always happy when someone does say, listen, can we just think of something else? That's not working. Whatever it is, it's like at least you know where someone stands.
No, for sure.
Carol
we do
Portis
that.
Semler has joined us. That's Lynn's sister, Carol. Hi, Carol.
Hi.
Go ahead. You think we do that?
We do that. We
Yeah.
respect each other, and if something comes up,
What's Lenny saying?
They
only
only
fight-
fight when Karen doesn't bring cookies to rehearsal.
That is true.
Karen,
We
do you
have
bring
some good
cookies?
questions here.
Oh,
Yeah. In the month of October is National Cookie Month, and anybody
it
out there
true?
who wants to friend me on Facebook, I'm under Karen Mack, and in the month of October, I get up every day and I bake a new cookie.
What?
And I take a
True.
picture of it,
It's true.
and then I go about my business. And so
This
usually
is exciting. I'm
we
looking
have
forward to
rehearsals.
October.
Yeah, we don't like when
It's
rehearsals get canceled in October because then
True.
that means we miss cookies.
That's true.
So that's
Wow.
not
So
good.
we do
Karen,
that.
you're a baker,
I
huh?
am procrastinating.
Someone's asking what is the group's favorite cookie? Julie Rayburn.
Julie
Oh.
had good questions. Julie has
Ah.
She did this one with like the lip ball, but the lip
Oh,
ball was
oh,
in like a butter
yes.
chocolate.
Oh, I never got that.
But it just
What?
it was kind of a little melty.
Yeah, it exploded on
It
us.
exploded on somebody's white
Roberta.
blouse.
But
Oh,
it was
no.
in there. She also does this like is it a pecan sandy or there's some sort of
a short. I do a pecan shortbread
Oh, I'm
for you.
excited.
You also did some sort of
Oh,
royal.
it's
something
good.
or other.
We tend to have a lot of snacks at rehearsals.
Snacks.
And we bring
It's
snacks to
good.
shows.
Women and
and,
snacks, I'm telling you.
you know,
it's the
you're
way
coming
to go.
after work, you're rehearsing for 2-3 hours, and,
Yeah.
and honestly, we all have jobs. You know, we don't make a living doing this.
Right.
So we come after, you know, a long day's work, and we're sitting there, and we have to get a little something to get our juices flowing. Besides
Yeah.
that, we're excited to sing together. So, you know, I think sometimes a little cookie helps. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, you know what? I told the girls earlier, and you guys have heard me say this before. The whole point of the show is to talk about the reality of living, thriving, and surviving as a creative person. And you talked about having you have other jobs. You have jobs that
Yeah.
finance your art. You know, and a lot of times young people will come to the city and they'll say, "Oh, I just want to work in the arts." And I'm like, "Look, that's a great dream, but the truth of it is you have to have other jobs that
Yes.
can finance what you're doing, so that you can take classes, so that you can pay for the spaces, so that you can
That's
take
right.
lessons in classes and all that stuff. It's really important to have to
Right.
live in the reality of that.
And it's
you know?
expensive. I mean, cabaret is expensive. Putting on a show, I mean, people who are not in cabaret may not know that, you know, you're paying for rehearsal space. You're paying for your musical director, your director.
Right.
You're paying for the band every time you do a show.
Well,
you're
you're
renting a
producing
room.
it.
You're
I mean,
producing
you're
it.
your own producer.
You have to do your
Yeah.
own marketing. Like, not a lot of other people are going to go out there for you and peddle your show. They're peddling their own shows. So
Right,
it's
right.
it's a thing. And we it's interesting because we always talk about doing this for fun and for the love of it.
Right.
And we have a little ritual that we do before we go on stage where we kind of look at each other, we hold pinkies, and we say we do this for fun. We all look at each other in the eye and we say that. Because it's an important reminder, especially when things get stressful
Absolutely.
in your life outside the music or in the music, to remember that this is what gives us the joy, this is what feeds our souls
Yep,
and our hearts.
absolutely.
So,
It
But-
makes those day jobs less painful.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure that had. You know, we cite cabaret because we work in cabaret.
Right.
But it's true for theater. I mean,
Everything.
it's true for dancers. It's true
Yes.
for everybody. The part that's kind of was always a drag for me because I started in musical theater and auditioning for theater. It always bums me out a little bit that people in the industry, even sometimes your colleagues, tend to look at you like you're not serious about your craft if you have a job,
Oh,
if you have a
no.
survival job.
You have
And, you know, I mean, there are lots of ways to do it. Everybody has to make the decision that's right for them.
Right.
For me, I just felt like I get to do the kind of creative things that I'd like to do. I don't have to, I'm not taking a gig that's not good for me
Right.
because I have to, you know, I'm not judging a gig that I'd love to do and pass on it because it's not going to pay my rent.
Right.
You know, I mean,
Right.
you evaluate
That's true.
when you're not 20 anymore, you evaluate differently.
Yeah.
And
That's
everybody
true.
gets to make the choice that's right for them, and your art is still art. It's still important.
Mhm.
Right. I think it's all for me. I'll try to like let people know you have to be willing to do what you have to do.
Yeah.
You know, don't be closed off to a. You know, I do so many different jobs all the time, and I'm okay with it because I want to be able to keep doing this. I want to be able to put a show together, to write songs and go into the studio and hire live musicians and pay them well.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I want to be able to
Right.
do that. So I'm going to bartend, and I'm going to drive an Uber sometimes, and I'm going to teach, and I'm going to do all those things I have to
And
do.
not be mad at it. You know,
No, I
bless
love it.
And say, this is, you know, this is what today is going to get me this new thing.
Right.
Julie Rayburn just popped up and said, having a full life informs your art.
Yes,
And that's
absolutely.
shocking the well.
That's
Paul Unson
true.
has joined us. He joins us every week. Hi, Paul.
Hey,
How
hi,
are
Paul.
you? It's true, you know, and it also makes you a more well-rounded person. You know, you have all these different things
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
So let me see. Okay, in a few minutes we're going to do our food. What else?
There's an interesting question coming in. Somebody,
Myanmar?
wanted to know who our favorite Spice Girl is, but also who's our favorite Beatle, which maybe some of us can answer better than the Spice Girl question.
Wow.
Although we do a Spice Girl song.
We do a
And we
Spice
do a
Girl
Beatles song,
We
but
do
we
a
don't
couple
do
of
them
Beatles
together.
songs.
Okay.
That's
But
not
maybe
a-
that's in our future.
Ringo
I
is my
don't know.
favorite Spice Girl.
Oh,
I like it.
What's your favorite?
I was always a sporty.
Oh,
Sporty Spice, yeah. She did a high kick.
Oh,
I like a high
I
kick.
love it. And how about the Beatles? Who's
Paul
your-
McCartney was.
Yeah, me too.
I always
I
tried
was
to
a
play
Paul
him when
girl.
I was growing up.
I was a
George
George
Paul.
Harrison girl.
I was a Harrison. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Who were you in? Did you
I'm
say?
Paul.
Oh, you're
Okay,
Paul
yeah,
too.
me too. I
Well, we
like-
have 2 Georges and 2
Two
Pauls.
Pauls. All right.
Split right down the middle.
Yeah. Now,
Somebody-
what's the
sorry.
Beatles song that you do?
Oh, we do a couple right
do you?
now. We do "I Will,"
I love it.
with a little bit of "Here, There, and Everywhere" mashed in, which
Gorgeous.
is nice. And then we do
Golden
"Golden
Slumbers.
Slumbers."
Beautiful. I mean, there's so many to pick from.
So
right?
many. Oh,
God, you never get tired of it.
they're one
It's
of my
just
favorite
beautiful.
bands.
Huge
Love,
fan.
love
Huge
the
fan.
Beatles.
Yeah.
Wendy too. Yeah.
All right, and do you do any show tunes?
We do
Well,
some show
we
tunes.
do. What show tunes do we do?
Or have done even in different
well,
shows?
Well-
in the last show we did Joanna.
Oh,
a
I
little
love
mashup
that.
of Joanna and
May I- I
Like
feel-
Pretty
Joanna.
Lady. Yes, that one for
Yeah.
Sweeney Todd.
Did you ever do that in a show? Was there a show that I saw you do that in?
No, you know what? I did in a solo show, I did I Remember
Oh,
by
okay.
Stephen Sondheim.
Beautiful. All right,
Yeah.
so I love
Biding
that.
My Time.
Biding My
From
Time.
Crazy for You.
Oh.
Steve Heat, which is
I
from
love Steve.
another
I love
show.
that. Yes.
I just started working on
Which
Our
one?
Time.
And
That's a
Our
great-
Time by Stephen Sondheim, which just started working on.
Our time, we do that. We're doing that with our kids right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's such a,
Nice.
and I don't think I'd heard it in like a million years, and it was Darius's idea with our little guys, or no, with maybe our middle group, and so when he said, "Oh, this is Stephen Sondheim," actually a few of them were like, "Who's Stephen Sondheim?" And I said, "Oh boy, we have to."
Uh-oh.
I'm taking the
Expand their
challenge.
minds.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing now. We're throwing together because we have about maybe 10 or 12 kids in the class.
Oh,
And they
wow.
range from 10, well, it's different ages we have, but this particular group is 10 to 14. So now we're finding a whole bunch of Sondheim songs for them.
That's
You
great.
know, yeah, and educating them on just that one composer for this class.
That's great.
Because I take it for granted. I'm like, everybody knows something, but these are kids. They're just,
Yeah.
but they're so present and they're so excited to be there and they really want to be there. And then we have the really little ones too, and then we have our advanced class.
I can see a 10-year-old like, here's to the ladies. who
Oh,
love
yeah.
Jesus."
Oh my God, there used to be
Little
this
kid
show.
cocktail,
When I
right?
used to wait tables at Don't Tell My
Why not?
There was a-
little Mountain Dew, maybe?
I
Sure.
can't even remember who the teacher was, but a woman used to bring in her performance class to Don't Tell Mama, and they were all like 7 to 11. And,
Were they
and
tappers?
No, they
The
would all
Susie
come in and
Camp-
present.
Like
Here, I'll give you an example. Like one of them got up once and we're waiting tables, and it was a long show. And she gets up there and she's like, "I want a new life," and we're like, "You're 7."
Yeah.
You can't. So it was all like wildly inappropriate songs for young people, but we would look forward to it because it was,
Yeah, of course.
so good for you that you're giving kids some education and picking some.
Oh,
nice
I
things
love
to
it. Yeah,
do.
no, we pick great. I mean, a lot of times they bring in their own things that they want to work on as well, and we let them have it, if it's age appropriate. And, but I just, when someone said, who's Sondheim, because they're a lot of these, they know every Disney song. I mean,
Right.
every Disney song you can imagine. But we like to expand, that's what they know.
Yeah.
Which is actually great because in the last, I'd say, 20 years, Disney has written some, incredible music
Oh,
in
yeah.
25 years. Whereas it was more pop before that. But now kids will actually bring in, but I want to, and Darius as well, we want to expand, their repertoires and things like
When I was
that.
a child, my sister and I used to write music.
Really?
Go ahead,
I've
sing one of your
exposed the
songs,
girls.
Eve. Sing a little bit. She did some in
Um,
our show.
I've got the Muckle Tea o' Fairy Blue.
Oh.
Yes.
And I'm gonna go and spread the news. I think we were about 8 and 10. We wrote that one.
Wow,
And
that's
then there
not
was
bad,
very
right?
Karen's
My
favorite.
favorite.
Do it.
Minestrone love is my kind of thing. All I can do is sing, sing, sing to the
jingles.
box. Yeah, I think
These are jingles you were writing as an 8-year-old.
And my favorite, hurry, hurry.
Oh, that's my
Hurry,
favorite.
hurry,
I
run,
love that
run,
one.
Yeah,
Hurry,
that
hurry,
one.
run.
I'm just gonna leave that one right
I
there.
love it. These are exciting. They're like kitty
All of
jingles.
these songs are much longer than what she's singing. We just won't let her sing it any further.
Well,
than that.
they're
I
in
like that.
clips. They're a little
Enough
sound
Clips,
bites.
clips are good.
Vincenzo
Even
D'Amato
more.
has joined us. He's in Massachusetts. Hi, Jimmy. How are you? Now, let me see. Where
Yeah.
are
Is it
we?
food
We have
time?
to do our food. Yes.
Food.
So we've
Oh.
come to the section of our show called Go Ahead, Keep Eating. You have to do it with me. Ready, girls?
Yeah, ready.
Go ahead, keep eating. All right, and I have my mug, my Maria, Go Ahead, Keep Eating mug. What's the story with Maria? Of course, I do have merchandise. So
Oh,
you have your
merch,
mugs.
merch.
I have so many things. Now, this is what I made. So I always ask my guests, do you have any restrictions, food allergies, preferences? I asked Karen to check with the girls, and we came to the conclusion that this was a vegetarian group for the most part. Okay. So, what did I make? I made a delicious, this is gemelli pasta. Gemelli means twins. And I figure there's 2 sets of twins here, so that's appropriate. And what did I put? Now, that's the way I look at it. I have to justify everything I do. Look at how delicious that looks, though. I will tell you.
Yum.
Now, what's in it? I have to write things down as I get older, otherwise, as I'm cooking it, I forget. So this is a marinara sauce I made with olive oil, garlic, crushed red peppers, basil, sauteed Vidalia onions, onion salt, pureed eggplant, and red peppers, and red wine.
Wow.
And that's with crushed tomatoes, and a little. I always put a little bit of butter. Just a little bit of
Oh,
butter.
that's all right.
That's a chefy trick.
I like
Yeah.
the red wine ingredient. That
Yes.
sounds
Well,
good to me.
I cooked it. I caramelized the onions with a red wine.
Oh,
And
that
then,
sounds delicious.
yeah, the butter, because I feel that the butter takes out the acidity of the tomatoes. So that is what we're having. It's delicious. I put a little parsley on it. So that's what we're having. And got tons of
Parsley's a
kitchen.
vegetable.
Listen.
Thank you,
See?
Karen.
You're very smart. That's your Aquarius.
Vegetable.
Now look at this giant salad. I love a good salad.
More vegetables.
Yes, more vegetables. So I have mixed spring mix in here, romaine, celery, curvy cucumbers, my favorite cucumbers, and orange peppers, little mini orange peppers in there. I'm going to put an orange champagne muscat vinegar on this and extra virgin olive oil. A little salt, pepper, and chives. I have chives on there. Look at that. Can't go wrong. Now, Karen,
Chives, also
Beautiful.
a vegetable.
Yes.
Right, thank you.
Thank you,
Karen
Karen.
said I'll bring dessert. What did she
Oh.
bring? Cannoli cake. I love cannolis, and I love cannoli cream. So that is our dessert. Very, very.
I brought more pieces. It's not just the one piece.
No,
I
but
should hope
that's our
so.
display plate. That is our display. So there are not just snacks. There is dinner. We
No,
have
it's
dinner
very-
after the show.
Very sweet of you to do that and put all that.
Oh,
chocolate.
please!
Very
It's-
nice.
Listen, I feel like if I'm asking people to come to the studio and take all this time and get up here, you got to lure them in with food. It works.
Food
Right?
helps. Food helps with a lot of things.
What was
Feed them, they will come.
always, and I find that I just find that people are very excited about food. I love to cook. Anybody? You're a baker. Do you cook as well?
I do.
Okay, me too. It makes me very happy.
I love to cook too.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
What's something that you like to make?
Well, I make a couple of different couscous kind of dishes. I do some things with lentils. My husband's a vegan, so I've adjusted from only having learned how to make chicken
Wow.
and turkey to learning how to make lots of other
Yeah,
foods
was he always a
without
vegan,
chicken
or
and
did he-
turkey. No, he. I guess it started. He was a vegetarian before we got married in 2005. So before that,
Oh wow!
and then he became a vegan like a couple of years after that.
So when you have to cook with for specific needs,
Mm-hmm.
you get creative. You have to.
You do, but the food is delicious. I'm
Yeah. it's
always
good
well
stuff.
fed, and it tastes good.
Yeah.
So you know.
And you're all vegetarians, right?
No.
Anything with a face on it.
Oh.
Good to know.
It's true. Don't send your letters. Don't send.
No, I
letters.
know. I'll eat everything too. I'm
Yeah.
one of those people. And I've been on the keto diet off and on this year, but
Do you like
tonight. For me, it works because I'm Italian and I love salami and prosciutto
Yeah.
and all that. Actually, Gina got me started. Gina, my cousin, was on it, and I was seeing what she was posting. I was like, that's all stuff I love, like mozzarella and prosciutto and all that stuff that Italians go
That
crazy.
you're already eating.
Yeah, and so I could do it. And it's something that I can do very easily, and then go. But I do go off of it for special occasions.
Like the cake.
Cannoli.
Yeah, I mean, come
Wow.
on. And then she and I are having a Valentine's Day party, and I ordered a gigantic cake by my favorite cake maker, by the way, Shannon O'Connell. She is out in Bayonne.
Okay.
She's the greatest cake maker you can imagine. She will.
Does she have a shop?
She makes it's out of her home.
Wow.
If
So like
anybody-
custom orders?
Yeah, and it's e.z.cakes on Instagram. Go and check out her Instagram. It's just, she makes the most gorgeous things. However, they also are the best tasting cakes I've ever
Nice.
had.
Maybe
So-
those girls should have a road trip to Bayonne.
I'd love to go to
I'm
Bayonne.
just
Yeah,
saying,
I'd
let's
be
do
more
it.
than happy to go to Bayonne.
Let's do it.
Uh-huh.
We're going to, so I will post my, I actually am going to have Shannon on. She's so sweet. She made the cake for my 100th episode. Mandar, you were here, yeah.
Nice.
And it's just beautiful. She does beautiful work, but it's also like the most delicious thing. So I'm all about delicious things. Now, what is what's something that you love? What's like something your go-to staple? I could eat that every day. What is it?
Oh gosh.
Well, comfort food as a
You
kid.
know what? I'm obsessed with roasted vegetables, so probably roasted broccoli is my favorite food ever. I could just eat a head
How
of
about
broccoli
cauliflower?
for-
You one of these
Oh,
people
I love cauliflower.
jumped on that cauliflower
Yeah, I
train?
did.
They
I
have those
did.
Brussels sprouts out at the Magnolia Room.
They
Those are
have
good too.
really good Brussels
I love
sprouts,
vegetables too.
Yeah.
And how about you, Wendy?
I love a roasted vegetable. I love working with chicken. I love anything that starts with sauteed onions and garlic.
Me too.
It's like,
Me
and then I
too.
can just layer on top of that.
It's like so easy. It's that beautiful smell of olive oil, garlic. It's like
It's
the best.
incredible.
You're like, I could do anything.
Just put it on pasta, plain pasta.
Yeah.
Garlic and cheese.
I like pasta with butter. Just a
Yeah.
nice little. I could eat that anytime. And when we were kids, my mother used to she was so creative. We didn't have a lot of money, and she just always would. We used to have a lot of frittatas too. Eggs are go a long way.
Oh, yeah.
So she used to make a lot of
Yeah.
those. But baking was never my thing. My cousin Rena is a great baker though, but I am not I don't think I've even ever.
I'm fussy bake. I don't make wedding cake. Like I'm very envious of your friend. I'd love to see her stuff because that's not so. My stuff is like almost pretty. But I like things. I like things that feel homey to me. So
Yeah,
I love cookies. I love small,
Brownies, things
yeah,
like
and like I'll do cakes and things, but mostly like old timey recipes or recipes that people have shared that that are such a part of their memories that I like to.
Well, that's what it is. I love when I have a
Mm-hmm.
party and people bring different things, and I love to see what they bring. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like what's something that you love, you know, that you'll bring. But baking was never my thing, but I love it. I love sugar. But yeah, go and check out e.z.cakes at Instagram. That's my friend
All right.
Shannon.
Do that.
Delicious. But she'll make it look like anything you want. It's gorgeous to look at as well.
Nice.
Okay, so Leo, go ahead. Keep I know. Yeah.
Question
Well,
about the
that's why
national
when I.
anthem. Have we
Oh,
somebody? It's
That's why there it is. Leo and I created these, and also I have little tote bags, and I have aprons that say "Go."
aprons.
Yeah, the apron I have it. I got the tote bag.
Nice.
The tote bag's only $10. I mean, what the hell can you get $10? You know, and but because now the plastic, they're that's changing over. You have to pay for your plastic bags now.
Right.
You have to start having. Okay, who else is? Caitlin Rose Kell has joined. He's like Philadelphia. Canola in California right now. Diane Cairns Connolly, she was my friend from junior high. How great! Her on Facebook recently.
I love that.
So they've Leo has posted the those.
Thanks, Leo. Appreciate that.
Debbie Simonard has joined us. Brendan Ryan, he is a sergeant, NYPD sergeant, plays the bagpipes.
I feel like I should.
Yes.
I used to
I love the
dance.
bagpipes.
I go to Scotland every summer.
No.
I Scottish dance from the age of 10 to 14, and I know the Highland Fling and the sword dance and
Oh.
the lilt.
What?
I have a wee
Yeah.
bagpipe.
I
at
love
home, and I play it
bagpipes.
very
I
well.
I love bagpipes too. They make me cry every
Oh
Oh my
time.
God, you just
Yeah,
put up
I like
bagpipes.
that.
Look at how excited we are.
Every
I know,
time.
Hey,
Brendan.
have you seen them in the
for you.
park up here in Fort Tryon? That they
I
do
love-
They do the trimming of the heather, and they bring a bagpiper in, and they walk you through the park, and you do like a little parade
The
with the
trimming of
bagpiper.
the heather, would that be in the fall or would that be in the spring?
No, I think they do it in the spring.
It's beautiful up there. Fort Triumph
Wow,
Park.
I try to go every year to that trimming of the heather because I like the bagpipe.
Wow,
Yeah.
Brendan. Yeah, we're gonna have Brendan on, but he works on Tuesday nights. So
I gotta
Hey, what's going
happening?
on, Rachel? Charles is
Oh
joining.
my God!
Oh my God, Brendan, look what you started.
It's turning into those girls' dressing room, which is
And
always
they
a
heard
dirty
NYPD
place.
bagpipes, and then
Oh,
everybody's taking their clothes off. What the hell? Crazy.
Did you say that's what we do, Wendy?
That's what we do.
Oh,
I'm telling you, you never know what's going to make somebody crazy. Obviously, it's the bagpipes. Mary, Ryan, and I were talking about you earlier. Hi, well, tell them all. It's St. Clement's the talent show. How cute! They remember the talent show at St. Clement's. Wait, isn't that cute that you remember? You're the Supremes. That was Diana Ross.
Oh,
Yeah,
how fun!
we had
That
some
must have
Supremes.
been.
We did a little medley. Yeah, even in junior high. We know what we were doing. Okay, so when's your next show? And or do you know when your next show? Have you one
Well,
planned?
we do, right?
Yeah.
Tell people about it.
We are out at, we have our guest appearance at An Evening with Dolly Parton. And we don't, somebody asked earlier, do we know what we're singing? We don't know yet. They haven't assigned that yet, but it's such a great catalog. There's nothing that
you
we
can't
can
go
be bad.
wrong.
We actually already sing Jolene. We do Jolene as a mashup with Barracuda.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
So we won't be doing that.
Very clever,
That's
girls.
the 13th at the Green Room 42. And then our next main stage show, we've been invited back to the BJ Ryan's Magnolia Room in South Norwalk, Connecticut.
Wow, where is that?
It's so cute, and
is
it's
that-
not hard to get to.
Tell us how to get there, because we have a lot of Connecticut listeners. Lots.
Norwalk.
I'm challenged. So,
I go to Norwalk.
I think I
Okay,
could
well,
give you
they'll know.
directions.
They live in
South
Connecticut.
Norwalk.
It's on our website.
If you go to the website, it's on our website. The information is there. You can go to
Okay.
BJ Ryan's Magnolia Room's website, and it will be there. It's
Wow.
March 28th. It's a Saturday night,
Yay.
so you can come
28th
have
of
some
February?
drinks, and you don't have to worry about getting up for
March,
work.
okay.
The
March.
food is great.
March
and it's,
28th.
super fun. And that'll be Those Girls Sing the Boys, our acoustic version of that
I
show.
love
So
it.
it's gonna
Right,
be
yeah,
super
with
fun.
us and Steven.
Peter
And,
Iannello has joined us.
oh, nice. And then in April, the end of April, we're going to be in Austin, Texas. Yippee-ki-yay.
We have Texas listeners as well.
Where my sister and my mother are there.
Where is it? Where's
In
that?
Austin, Texas, we are singing at Austin Cabaret Theater.
Austin Cabaret Theater. And if you go to our website, thosegirlssing.com, and or you can search Austin Cabaret Theater. They'll have information about their whole series there and how to get to it.
Right.
That's
And
incredible.
hopefully we'll do some more shows here in New York soon, even if we do our boy show
Yeah, people
acoustic.
come-
It would
It's
be
nice
fun
to
do that.
travel,
So
too.
it's,
Yeah,
It's
we're
nice
going to
to
start on
travel.
some new music for a new show. We don't know what it's going to be yet, but we're just starting to
love
talk
it.
about it. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And Mandar asked, have you ever been to Dolly's amusement park? Has
Not
anybody
yet.
I
been?
have
No.
not.
I heard it's really fun, though. I love her.
I'd like to go.
She
We
can
should
do
go.
no wrong. Have you ever heard Dolly Parton do Stairway to Heaven?
No. I'll have to listen to
You
that.
must listen. It's
Wow.
absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
It's like a beautiful
Nice.
acoustic version, and it's stunning.
Nice.
Yeah, Dolly can do no wrong. I think she's just great. Okay, I want to go. You want to go to the Austin Musical Festival?
South by Southwest.
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
great festival.
Yep.
You should go.
I love all that stuff. There's so many great things happening. So,
It's
you know,
true.
go to the website, see what these girls are doing. Now, we're coming, we got about 6 minutes left. So,
All right.
what do you want to leave them with? What's something, we talked about this at the beginning of the show. People are out there. There are so many creative people out there. There are chefs, there are singers, there are all kinds of visual artists. There are people that are sometimes just are ready to throw the towel in. What advice do you give people for staying in it? Just, I always tell people, we can't give up out there. We have to keep creating. We have to stay in that place that's a zone for us. It's just better for the world. So what would you say? We'll go around this way. Go ahead, Rachel.
Well, I think I would say I don't think it matters if you're making money doing it. I don't think it matters if you love music and you never get on a stage and perform. If you're sitting in your living room and you're creating and it's making you happy and bringing you joy, keep doing it, because there's too many things in life that maybe don't do that for you. And I think it doesn't matter what your end game is with it. Just do it for yourself, if for nothing else. Whatever it is that brings you joy.
All right.
Yeah, we tend to, the lizard brain tends to convince you. Your brain is an asshole, so it'll tell you all the reasons why you shouldn't be doing something, or maybe you're not as good as this person, or here's all the reasons why it's going to fail. And for me, I just made this decision a few years ago. I was just going to follow the joy, and so I was going to do things that brought the joy. And so for me, that was singing, and I do it for the joy. And when it stops being joyful, then I'm going to probably stop doing it.
Absolutely. Wendy?
Yeah, well, I agree with Rachel and Eve, and I don't know what to add other than I think that, you need to do it for yourself first. Don't worry about what other people... do work at it, work hard, do the best you can, but always do it for yourself first and for the love of it. And so you have a way to express anything you're feeling. That all comes through art, and it's a beautiful way to just express yourself without any agenda.
Right. That's great.
And I think, just really, my life changed when I started singing with those girls.
Yeah,
girls.
but it does, and the connection, the human
And
connection.
it really is. It's the enthusiasm of for me. It's the enthusiasm of the process, and I love the process.
Yeah. How about you, Karen? Mack?
I guess I absolutely echo all of what everybody said. But for me, I'd also would encourage people, you get to be a good parent to your art, to your music, to your whatever it is that you love. If you want to sing, it's okay to say, you know what, I want to be a better singer.
Right.
I want to sing the best that I can, and I want to, if that means taking classes, and that means putting some money into that as a hobby, it doesn't matter if you'll ever win a Grammy. Like, if you want to do something, you're allowed to love it so much that you want to play in different places, and you want people to come and see you, and you want to share what you do, and you want to be good at it. And honestly, if you got up tomorrow morning and said, hey, I'd like to ski, and so you would go and you would buy incredibly expensive skis, and you would hire an instructor, and you would go on a trip, and nobody would say to you, well, you're not going to be in the Olympics, don't ski. They wouldn't. They go, that's great.
Right.
But for some reason in the arts, they don't do that to people in the arts. In the arts, if you're not going to be, if it's not going to put you on the top of the map, then it's not worthwhile. I say, don't do it. Enjoy the process. Let yourself have that.
Yeah,
you would encourage somebody else to have it. Let yourself have it.
And when you're happy and doing things that you love, it brings your blood pressure down.
Oh, for sure.
It zens you out. Like a happy person is a productive person. So go and be happy and go and be productive. We have come to the end of our show. With those girls' permission, I would like to have them sing us out. And I will remind you that we're here every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Come and see us. I saved the video so you can watch it again. And listen by tomorrow morning, we'll be on Spotify, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. Go to, just type in What's the Story with Maria. You'll see my face. Click, follow, and you'll see the show. You can hear the show in podcast. Ladies, I can't thank you enough. We're going to eat after this. I'm so happy we're here. And whenever you want to start, I know Wendy's got that pitch pipe. She's ready to go.
And Mandar, if they would give us the halftime show, we would do it.
Okay, beautiful.
So all of you get out there and maybe there's a video that people want to see.
Oh, yeah.
Redo that moment.
All right, hit it, girls.
When the sun is high in the afternoon sky, you can always find something to do. But from dusk till dawn, as the clock ticks on, something happens to you. In the wee small hours of the morning, while the whole wide world is fast asleep. You lie awake and think about the boy, and never ever think of counting sheep. When your lonely heart has learned its lesson, you'd be his if only he'd call in the wee small hours of the morning. That's the time you miss him most of all.
I want to thank those girls. I want to thank you people. Come back every week. We love it. Good night.
It's who I am.